December 2022 in Buffalo, New York. Of course, no stranger to lake effect snow, but this was an historic snowfall with upwards of 50 inches of snow to 60 within 4 to 5 day period. It snowed and snowed and snowed. Folks were trapped in. Unfortunately, a record number of deaths as well from this snow in upstate New York. Now, what is lake effect snow? Well, you need a lake, number one. But there are some other components to this. So, warm water of the lakes, and take Lake Erie, one of the shallowest of all the Great Lakes, right? So if you have water that's 32 or higher, and then you've got cold surfaces on the land, as cold air comes over those warm waters, it starts to pull up heat and it starts to pull up that moisture, and then the clouds begin to build as that cold air comes over the warmer waters. And once those clouds get big enough and it hits land and you get the cooling, thus you get the lake effect snow scenario setting up. And lake effect snow can dump as quickly as 2 to 4 inches per hour, adding up to no time. Now, take a look. Our snow here at home, yes, we get these bands coming in, a lot of times due to low pressure centers or a front coming in. But we too can see lake effect snows. And here's why. Come take a look here. Notice if the winds are coming more north and west over Lake Michigan, over Lake Erie, it can bring some of those bands our way. Are they as intense as what you see in the eastern suburbs of Cleveland, Erie, Pennsylvania, or Buffalo? Absolutely not. But what they can do is produce some quick snow squalls. And snow squalls are the underlying issues with lake effect. It can happen sudden. You could be in Mason, you get a squall, Westchester, nothing. What happens is these intense bursts of snow pick up very quickly with the wind, and thus you get whiteout conditions. Going back several years ago, 2 people were killed on I-275 near Westchester during a snow squall event where you had whiteout conditions. Now, these can last and deteriorate roadways, last for up to 2 hours, and then they move out. But by that point, the damage is done. So lake effect snow up to the north, a bigger deal, but we get our share of it right here in Greater Cincinnati.
Well, thank you, Frank. And of course, now is the time that we start talking about the forecast for the coming winter. You saw this graphic earlier in the show, and the key to El Nino winters is where the jet streams are. With the subtropical jet staying mostly south, our region has less Gulf of Mexico moisture and less precipitation than normal. And with the polar jet staying to the north, most frigid Arctic air masses are pushed to the North Atlantic. The result is fairly mild and dry weather during an El Nino winter. But a storm or two could still give us a few cold, snowy days. Here's our winter forecast, which is subject to big changes. Temperatures will be near normal in November and February. December will be a bit cooler than normal, and January will be warmer than normal. Above normal precipitation will fall in November and February, and only February looks to have more snow than normal. We will update this forecast from time to time throughout the winter. Typically in an El Nino winter, we've got dry, fairly mild weather, but there are those disturbances that can roll through and make it look very much like a typical winter, and we'll let you know with the first alert weather day. Catherine?
And those forecasts can be tricky, but we'll be there with you to keep you ahead of the storm.
Absolutely. El Niños especially having those cold spells, those dry periods, the warm and cold periods as well, Ashley.
Yeah, and we just hope you learned something new today, even if it's just how perfect north started or how lake effect snow is formed.
That was really interesting. I never knew how folks got on the ski lifts out there. And the key is, Steve, we are going to be here every step of the way giving you your first alert on that next big snowfall.
Absolutely, every single time. Thank you for watching. Please join us again. And while you're traveling this holiday season, it'd be a great idea to have the First Alert Weather app with you. It not only tells you what weather's coming your way where you are, it'll also tell you what's going to happen where you're going. That's the First Alert Weather app. It is free from us to you. Download it for your iPhone or for your Android system anytime.
This has been Ahead of the Storm, a First Alert Winter Weather Special.